What, that little laugh? Oh, that was Chandler laughing. Yeah, no, he actually laughs like that.
It sounded like
a polyphonic ringtone.
Yeah. Chandler laughs like a 3210, which is probably the phone he still uses.
That is almost certainly the phone he still uses.
If he hasn't use it for a mod yet.
Do you know, I had an 88, what was it, 8810. You know, the one that was even tinier, the really diddy one.
Yeah. The one that flipped out like the Matrix style thing.
No. It was just really. It didn't flip, that one. It was just really small.
You're thinking of the 8850.
Was it the 8850? Well,
yeah. Chandler's got an upgrade last week though. He's got a Ericsson T10.
Oh mate, I had a Sony Ericsson
T28
screens though.
Was them T28s with a flat back?
Isn't that made by Inokin?
My first phone, I'm going to see if I can find it now.
My first phone was a 10, but I traded it with a kid at school for half a kilo of boilies and this weird Sony Ericsson phone, yeah? And it was like this big, and it had a panel on the front that had all the buttons on it. You could flip open. It was a touchscreen PDA. Now, back in those days, it must have been stolen. There's no way he had that phone. But I tried buying one about a year ago, and they were something like $3,500 to try and get one now. They're that rare. But it was so fucking good.
I found an image of my first phone. They are.
Oh, here we go.
Hang on a sec. Screen share, where are you?
Too late. I've beaten you. This one's mine.
Look at that. Oh, yours is way better than mine. Look at mine. Look at mine.
That wasn't my first phone. That was like my third, I think.
My
first phone.
Pull-up aerial.
My first one actually had a pull-up aerial.
Yeah, mine too. That's actually got a pull-up aerial on it.
My phone was that old. It didn't even have a SIM card.
Jesus. Yeah.
My first one was a Motorola. I can't remember what it was.
How we used to.
It was a
C920 probably.
Okay, let's try C920. I'll tell you. Look at you knowing your phones. What's that?
Check
no,
this.
It wasn't that.
Check this out. This was mine.
Oh yeah,
mate, you're so posh.
Honestly,
oh look at you, joke. Oh yeah, I remember them Nokias.
It must have been stolen. It was beautiful. It was like at the time, it was the balls. But I swapped it for a 3210 and half a kilo of boilies.
Was it a C201 Chandler?
No, it was a D460. I've just found it. Hang on, here you go. It's that one. Look at that.
With
the pull-up aerial. I used to love that aerial.
Where is it? I missed it.
You're not screen sharing.
Am I not screen sharing? Oh yeah, no, I'm not screen sharing. Okay, there you go. Screen sharing would help. There you go. That one.
Hey.
Oh, my mum must have had the downgrade from what you had, because she had some massive Motorola thing. It was like a green or like a bluey color.
Oh mate, that is a pile of shit.
Was it a Coca-Cola one?
It was a Motorola.
Remember the Coca-Cola Motorola?
This is it. This is it. It's very similar. Ah, no, this is it. Check this beast out.
Do you know?
There you go. Look at that bad boy. I had to search giant old Motorola to find it. That's what my mum had first. Hers was like a greeny blue color.
Could I just say, I'm wrapping a coil while we're discussing this, and the first one I made, the legs were the wrong way around, and I've just made another two with the legs the wrong way around, just because I'm not paying any attention to what I'm doing while wrapping coil.
It's that new Nichrome 80 putting you off, Chandler.
Do you know what? You're right. I'll tell you what this is. I'll tell you what this is when we get to the unchecks. There you go.
Welcome to Old Phone Talk UK.
Shall we do a nice snappy start? Shall we? Go
on in.
Good evening. Welcome to Vape Talk UK, episode 13 Thrice. 13 Thrice. It's going down tonight. Episode 134. Oh, fuck it. abruptly titled this week a complete fuck up. Shall we just start again?
Did you say something about broccoli?
Broccoli.
Well,
I may
that's
as
what we
well
did
have
last
done
week, wasn't it? Get about 9 minutes in, and then we'll just stop and start again.
No,
Yeah, I think that's going to be the new intro now, every week.
What? Nokia Talk UK?
Yeah, no, we go live, we talk about something completely unrelated to vaping, we fuck up the intro, and then we start again.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Because I get called the worst host, and yet this happens to me the least.
But Chris, what happens when you host is we completely go off on a tangent. You end up talking about Madeline McCann. You end up insulting Kev Lester, and it just ends up going completely wrong.
Well, I'm not being funny. I was voted the best presenter for a reason. I think it's because of the amount of times we stop and restart every time you host.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. I genuinely don't.
think it was a sympathy vote.
It was a sympathy vote. You go for the fat one, don't you?
Definitely voted for the disabled kid.
Right, where were we? So, episode 135, The Price is Right.
Definitely don't ever give the fat kid the first vote. Not on a football team, not as who you'd like to share your all-you-can-eat buffet with. You never, ever vote for the fat kid first, right? So don't just play that card. Anyway.
JCRX, is that?
Josh.
That's Josh, isn't it?
That's Josh.
Who invited him to the party?
I don't know. I saw him this week. Went up to Leeds to see the gang, and I'll rephrase this. I was about to say I spent the evening with Josh.
I bet you.
Hello.
That sounds
I
like
like it when our beards rub.
It's not as bad as when you stumble out of my hotel room at like 5 a.m, so drunk with like your pants hanging.
Yeah, that's most weekends.
Yeah, it's a good weekend.
So
Anyway.
what a good week. I've had a shit one, so I'm not going to talk about mine. Apart from the weekend.
Oh,
The weekend was good. The weekend was good.
I've had a lovely week. It's been beautiful. The
Mine
birds
should
were
have been a
swaying,
great
the
week.
trees were singing.
The trees were singing.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
Cinderella? Did you have a little bird fly in and put a ribbon round you before you left the house?
Yeah, it was like the opening credits of Bambi.
Cinderella.
Did someone?
Yeah,
make
was it like a
12-volt
cartoon? Was it like a
shotgun?
cartoon bird that like just fluttered in?
Yeah, that was my week. That was my entire week.
That's been okay.
Was it like the
Why
beginning?
do birds suddenly appear?
I wouldn't have you
Okay,
down
maybe
as a
not.
Carpenters fan.
Ah,
I
yeah,
didn't-
my week's been all right. It's been a bit mad. What about you? What about you, Chandler?
Yeah, I had my first full week at doing my job properly.
You've been there a
It's-
month.
I've been there a month, yeah, but I've had 2 weeks worth of training, and then last week was my first full week doing the job without anybody, without being trained, basically.
What do you do?
And hey,
What do you do?
I work in a call center.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you're the annoying fucker that rings me up.
Are you the person that picks up and asks me if I'm the decision maker?
Yeah.
Fortunately, I nearly got. You've got different departments, obviously. Fortunately,
You're in PPI.
no, it's actually linked to what we were discussing at the beginning of the show.
Mobile phones.
Mobile phones.
Oh, what, you like tech support?
No, I work in upgrades.
Do you answer alternate calls as Chandler and Leslie to keep it fresh?
Hello, my cupcake.
Hello, my cupcake.
Wait a minute. Can you disclose which company you work for? Because when I'm doing an upgrade, I'm going to be ringing you.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It's one of those where you just sit there and the call just lands on you.
Do
You
you know
just
what I
have
want?
to-
I want a friend that works in retention. That's what I want.
Yeah. Is it EE by any chance?
It's not EE.
Oh, Tesco Mobile, knowing you.
Oh, for God's sake, it's Vodafone. That's not play games.
Are they still in
Yeah,
business?
they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's good. I'm liking it.
Nice. We got people in chat guessing which phone company he worked for.
They'll interact with literally anything, won't they? You dangle any carrot whatsoever, and they'll go for it.
Right. It looks as though we've had a JB start of the week. Chris, what are you vaping on?
I am just about to have a sip of my soda stream. Me and Mark a couple of weeks ago while we were on the show, we saw a deal for 20 quid soda streams. We took a punt, and yeah, over the last couple of days we've received them.
What'd you do? Carbonate your urine?
No, this is like a makeshift iron brew.
Nice.
Yeah. I am vaping on the. What is that?
What is
Back
what?
to my billet box panel.
Oh, I thought that's
giving
what you
away
were
what
vaping
you're
on
vaping
there.
on,
I thought it was like the. I thought it was like the, you know, the cannoli B1 or something. I thought I am vaping on the. What is that? I thought that's what it was called.
No. It's the billet box 45 milligram Nick Salts as per. And then I've got this beauty this week.
Yes, that is very nice. That is the second nicest half I've ever seen.
Oh,
It's hard to show you how nice it is, actually.
That
Wait,
was Bones's, wasn't it?
It was.
And now it's yours.
Now it's mine. I had dibs on it before I even got it. Oh, where's my little... Right, look at that.
Chris just reminding us that acrylic is see-through for those who didn't know or had
It
forgotten.
doesn't show up how nice it is. Oh, it's nice.
It doesn't when you put your phone behind it, Chris. It just makes you look like it's it.
It's got a bar in it, and it's got a haku on top. It's just fucking nice. I made the drip tip, and it was like about 4 millimeters. The stem was about 4 millimeters too long, so I stuck it back in the lathe to take a couple of mil off it, and snap. Look at that.
Punish.
Took ages to make as well because I was really like, look how perfect that fits on a haku.
So did it originally look like that one that Chandler had on his wasp? Like,
No, it wasn't the actual drip tip part. It was the stem that was going down to near where the coil was.
I see. Yeah, that.
Because it's got a slammed cap. Bloody hell.
Look at the state of that.
oh.
That is rotten.
It's like the drip tip equivalent of a lazy stick. You don't even have to be near your mod to vape it.
Oh no! Hang, oh, where is it? Oh, there you go. Hang on.
Oh, he's got a pipe one, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be aluminium as well.
Oh, of course he has.
Oh.
I'm going to leave that on there now, just for shits and giggles.
Just to fuck with us.
Yeah.
Oh, God. In that, I've got the creme de la creme. I have Rubaco
Yeah, we've heard about this juice.
from Canada, and oh my God, it is incredible.
Remember that time when you said you'd send us some?
I've only had it a couple of days. Calm down.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I need to get some 10ml bottles or something.
10 mil?
I only bought 240 ml of it.
Jesus, we don't live in fucking Uganda, Chris.
All right, I'll get you some 15ml ones, like the old Elements.
Very generous of you.
It's too good to give away. Honestly, I think this is actually the best juice I've ever had.
It's rhubarb tobacco, Josh. That's why it's called tobacco.
It's strawberry rhubarb tobacco.
Oh, well, then why is it not called strubacco? Fucking missed the trick there, didn't they?
It's Canadian. They probably don't say it right.
Chandler's funny.
And I've never seen a Star Wars episode, and that made me laugh.
What?
Oh, never mind. The moment has passed.
I did actually put a group buy offer in, and no one got back to me.
Because I don't recall seeing it either.
No, I can't remember. When I put the post up about the juice, I said it was amazing, but no one's going to really get to try it because he only makes small batches and doesn't sell to strangers. So I said I'd sort out a group buy and we could all get some more. And no one even who was commenting on the thread even said, "Yeah, all right, I'll do that."
Is this the rhubarb tobacco job, isn't it?
Yeah, rhubarb strawberry rhubarb tobacco.
That does actually sound Sound quite nice.
I'll send you all up.
I'll go in with you if you're getting some more. There you are.
No, you've not heard the price, Chandler. You've not heard the price. Don't agree on that.
I've not heard the price.
Yeah. It's quite expensive.
Is this the one that he spent like £3,000 on a 120ml bottle or something?
It wasn't quite £3,000, but yeah, it wasn't cheap. But again, I don't know what it costs to manufacture out there. Not that much, but it was worth it.
I would imagine the majority of it was shipping to get it here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it worked out about sort of like 55 Canadian dollars or something for 2 bottles.
For 2 bottles of how much in it?
120 ml.
120ml. Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, how much was the juice, Chris?
About 75 quid a bottle, I think. But it was so worth it. I think it worked out to like $150.
Well, if you 55 Canadian dollars is about just over 30 quid.
No, it was 75 Canadian dollars. No, I think it might have been American dollars. I don't know. It wasn't cheap though, but it was fucking so good.
Okay. I know Canadian dollars are better than.
They're actually a lot better than they were, which is a problem.
Yeah, they're worth like 10 pence each now, aren't they, or something?
I don't know how much the current exchange rate is. It was about.
Chandler, what are you vaping on?
Me? Oh, hello. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, the production value this week.
Oh, it's excellent. We've put a lot of effort into this, haven't you? You can tell. There you go. I'm on the Hemo mods tonight.
Oh, geez.
I've got my Relo RX23 and my Serpent Mini Tank on the top.
Keeping it modern.
Which I'm loving. Yeah, no, it's really, really nice. And I've just been messing around with wire, and no, I haven't got nichrome in it. I've made this is juice in that one.
You made some two strand twisted 28 gauge campful.
Oh, you ain't far off, actually. The juice I've got in there, I've got the Vapor Chef cucumber melon.
Cucumber.
Fuck.
Definitely says
cucumber melon. I never go for this sort of thing. It's cucumber melon and mint.
Why?
Sorry. Hold that back up again, Chandler. I was just reading the first line.
Sorry.
The first line. Drift into dreamy relaxation with this heavenly blend of refreshing mint, mouth-watering cucumber, and subtly sweet honeydew. I could think of nothing worse.
That can get in the fucking sea.
I've actually had.
It's really nice. It's a bit of a summery vape. It's not quite February weather, but actually it is really nice. And you know what I think of mint flavour?
I can say with 100% honesty that cucumber is my least favourite flavour in existence.
It is a weird thing. You look at it and you think cucumber in a vape. What the fuck? But actually, it is really, really nice, and I'm enjoying it. There you go.
Got to work out if this is the one I wanted to mention. 2 seconds.
It's all right.
This.
What's that?
This is a cucumber and something juice. Fuck me, it's amazing. Me and Josh found it at like Expo about 2 or 3 years ago. Me and Josh were walking around and found this, and it's fucking awesome.
It is surprising. Yeah, I don't know if it's anything like this, but this is surprisingly good.
I really want to bit so I can try it.
Yeah, cucumber is not something I would have picked up and gone, oh yeah, I'm just going to buy some cucumber flavored juice, because it just sounds wrong.
I don't think I've got it.
That's because it is, Chandler. Generally in life, if something sounds wrong, it probably is.
It's fucking not. It's gorgeous. You've got to try it. Seriously, it's really nice.
Are you vaping anything else that we might like?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Well, I am vaping something else. I've got my I've got my drone. And do you like the drip tip? What do you think? Doesn't that look cool on there?
I think you need sectioning or something similar.
Do you reckon?
You are a beautiful creature. You really are.
Some wicked material.
I tell you. You know what? I was showing you the coils. There you go. Is that focusing?
Yep.
There you go.
More than I do on an average day.
Chris wasn't far off. I've got
Twisted Claptons.
I've got twisted Claptons. There is 26 gauge Canthal inside with a 504 stainless steel around the outside.
Did you twist and Clapton that yourself?
I twisted and Claptoned myself.
Look at him go.
Look at that.
A magnificent man.
Hey. Mikey, the coilologist, would be proud of me.
He probably would.
He probably would. It's nowhere near his level, but
You wouldn't be proud of that drip tip though.
You don't think the drip tip's much cop, is it?
It's a tough one to sell, Chandler. I'm going to be honest.
Do you think? Go on in chat.
I think I'd end up knocking my teeth out.
Can we see one's in chat if you approve of the drip tip and two's in chat if you think that Chandler should burn it?
I think
it's going well, burning that steel.
Chandler should heat up and stab himself in the eyes with it.
I would vape, but I've got no wicking yet, so.
Here we go. Here come the twos.
Okay, there's no ones yet.
No, and I don't think there's going to be. Oh!
Thanks, Colin. Johan, that's a classic.
You see, Chandler, you very much do have your audience here.
Looks like a butt plug.
There we go.
You know what? I'll be honest. I'd expect a bit more girth from a butt plug. I'd be a little bit disappointed if someone stuck that up my ass.
Could be a training plug, Mark.
I'll tell you what. Hang on. I can change it.
Straight in with something the size of a fist, Mark.
What do you think? Is that any better?
I mean, it's better.
No. Okay.
I can't say that you really set the bar particularly high to begin with, but it's better.
Hang on. I got a couple more options. There we go. We've got the. It won't even go in. There you go. Well, that's more like a butt plug.
Guys, chat. PMs. Hold it up again.
Hold it up again. There we go.
What do you think of that, Chandler?
To be fair, that was a drip tip that came free when I bought a pack of CE2 clearomisers. There you go.
I think even your local vape shop hate you. What the fuck is that?
Why is everybody muted?
I don't know. What other drip tips have you got though?
That's about it. I've kind of gone through my drip tips now. Now Chris is gone now. Okay. There we go. Everyone's gone. Am I mute? What? What?
We kind of need to come back before Chandler kills the show a final death.
He outsmarted us.
Oh man. I don't know.
This has been a traditional hazing ritual for every new host or every potential host that's been on this show. And we've never got Chandler with it. We've never just left him on his own to the show. Josh when he auditioned, for fuck's sake, and that was on an audition.
I was like, what the fuck's going on? They've gone. I'm scared to show any more drip tips now. That's it.
It's all right. It's got to be someone else's turn for a hand check by now.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, just to let you know what I'm gonna put in there, because I just found this in the back of my cupboard. There you go. I've got some Akina left.
Dolan crack.
Oh yeah, the Asian pears and cream. Yes. Looking forward to that. That's going to be
I
nice.
believe just off camera, Dolan's got an IV bag full of it.
I can't vape it anymore. I've killed it.
Fuck
You
off.
killed it.
You
Genuinely.
got a solid year out of that at least.
Genuinely. Honest to God.
Wow.
Why? What's wrong? If you just vaped it to death, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I genuinely cannot vape it anymore.
It is the sort of juice you can just chug on all day. It is gorgeous.
It is one of them. It is definitely one of them. It's not hard to vape.
Relatively easy.
Mm. Right, who's not gone then?
Well, I'm guessing Mark's going last.
Oh, I'll quite happily go next.
I'll quite happily go next. I don't mind.
Go on then. You go next.
I don't mind if you want to go next, mate.
That's okay. You go. You go.
Are we going to just get progressively higher pitched while we have this conversation?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I think I can go a bit higher.
Heads it's Mark. Tails it's Stu. You ready?
So what we're doing then is tossing for it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where's
I
this?
thought it would suit Stu quite nicely, really.
Like soggy biscuit, but that's entertaining.
Heads.
Who is
Mark, then.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, Soggy Biscuit, not really a game that works well when you're on your own. You sort of end up losing even if you win.
Okay. So firstly this week, I'm vaping on that. So it's about 1.25 inch stainless steel. We've got a nice O-ring around the bottom. Not so much of a gauge down the center of it. It's a little bit. It's a bit restrictive, but it's a nice. Gets a little bit warm from time to time. We've got Old Faithful, a little bit shorter than the one before.
TikTok UK.
Can you see just round it? There's a little bit of engraving all the way around. Just makes it a little bit more stylish. Again, this one is quite special. There's 2 O-rings on this one.
Isn't that off of a K-Fun 4?
It is, yeah. This one actually, I really like.
Mate, K-Fun drip tips are always banging.
That one makes quite a nice noise. And the taste of 5-year-old juice.
Can I just say, when you actually held the first one up, I actually thought you'd got a very tiny mod.
To be fair, with the size of Mark's hands, though, all mods look tiny, don't they?
That's what I thought.
Also, I've got a lovely piece of autumn this week. 810. Now you'll notice on the bottom of this, we're kind of missing a few of the O-rings. So it's not as stable and secure.
That looks like it's from a Churchill.
You're right.
I'm just going to keep trying to name the tank when you show the drip tip.
And my all-time favourite?
That's a Nautilus 2.
Tubby.
Nautilus 2.
I'm stuck in the shed trying to cut my wicks with a Stanley blade, and you're dragging this on. Fuck me.
2 O-rings. What I like about this is you can actually hold up the weight of the tank with this.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite impressive.
That is impressive. I don't think I
can I just say that there for some reason for all of us with the high end hemo mods we've got, we're all missing a nice bit of resin.
I'm not plenty of resin today.
That was so funny. My missus just texted me saying, "What the hell was that?"
just tell her it was the dolphin, but it's back in its cage now.
So this week then, I'm looking at stuff and thinking, what am I vaping? Molly?
Oh yeah, you've got that back out.
Hey.
I've got the shakes. The Haku with a black cap. Thank you very much, Ollie. Very much appreciated. And a little tiny tip. In that, I've vaping on Fizzy Bubbly from TYB.
Oh,
My favourite.
What
Fruitade.
was that?
Fruité Twistay is my favourite. Tastes just like, do you know the red Fanta?
Oh, is it the
I love red Fanta.
What's it called?
Fruit Twist.
What's the red Fanta
Twisted?
called?
Fanta Twisted.
Fruit Twist,
Fruit Twist. Fanta Fruit Twist.
and it tastes just like it. It is banging.
Can you guys?
Why am I sat here drinking it? I'm vaping it. Thank you, James. Fruit Twist. Oh, loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Yeah.
I said Fanta Fruit Twist.
We
I
can.
don't think anyone could hear me.
What else am I vaping?
What have you got in your Nautilus 2 this week, Mark? We need to be constantly kept up to date on what you've got in your Nautilus 2.
Cool mint, V4 vapor, 12 milligram.
Oh.
I am just beside myself in disbelief. That's the last thing I expected you to say.
I've run out of mint. I need to order some mint. Yeah, that's me this week. I have got a bottle of Mexican fried ice cream that I'm kind of switching in and out of, but no, Fruité Twistay is mine tonight.
Fruité Twistay.
I see that. Look, read it.
Oh no! I said this to James as well. The name as well, Fizzy Bubbly. Bubbly.
Apparently, it's something from a film. I'm not.
What is it with Northerners and just refusing to spell properly?
I think it's something to do with don't mess with the Zohan, Dale said.
I don't care.
I haven't seen that, so I have no idea if it's pertinent.
Is it like the Madeira?
Oh yeah, the Madeira. Which is probably what Chris's time on the show will be referred to retrospectively.
I did tell you guys to steer clear of that subject.
What subject? What? No, seriously, what have I missed?
Nothing. Joking.
You know, Chris, the Madeleine McCann thing, the fact that it's
Okay.
out. You see, look, we're keeping Craig waiting. Right, I'll do mine and then we can get on. I got a new toy this week and I really like it. It's dead nice and I'm dead happy with it. And it's my favourite. It's my new favourite. I got a Stabwood and resin SX350J Limelight Pylon. Go on, focus. Look at that. It's like green and yellow resin and then like a purple, green and dark red sort of Stabwood kind of deal. Got a little blem up the top there, but it was dirt cheap, so I'll accept a little blem at the top. And on top, I've got a Rose version 3 TPD edition, which is also fucking lovely. I need to get a mouth to lung. Oh, I've got juice on it. I've literally just done that. I've just got juice on it myself. I need to get a mouth to lung reducer for it because the airflow is good enough to mouth to lung really, really nicely on it. But you know when you're mouth to lung in on airflow that like doesn't really want you to, when you sort of mouth to lung in on very closed down normal airflow, it sort of feels different, doesn't it, to when you're mouth to lung in on proper mouth to lung airflow? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. It's all about the airflow that hits the coils, not the airflow.
Yeah, like it's tight enough, but it feels lopsided at the moment. And I'm hoping with the mouth to lung reducer, it won't feel lopsided.
Does it feel like you're breathing through one nostril?
Kind of, yeah. And what the mouth to lung reducer basically does is puts a ring around it that means the air can't travel round the deck. It can only travel in through the airflow hole that's open. But yeah, that's an SX350J Limelight Pylon, and you can probably just about make out on the bottom there that it's has quite a low number. It's number 45. So,
you just missed 42 by 3.
Yeah, so I'm pretty fucking happy with that for what I paid for it. I got an absolute bargain. So that's been really making me happy. And in that, I've got vanilla flavored 18 milligram, just some basic, simple 50/50. and I've got a 1 ohm KA1 coil, and I'm running it at 13 watts. I couldn't be more Chandler if I tried.
What? I'm still sub-ohm.
Well, I mean, I technically am. It's not quite 1 ohm. It's 0.95.
That's dangerous. Man. Be careful.
And then I've got my engraved Vulcan 1 and Vulcan Alpha, which I actually gave a little bit of a clean to before the show, but apparently that counts for nothing because I have the most acidic hands in the world. But
where's it engraved? Where's it engraved? It looks like you've been shot.
You what?
You look like you've been shot.
What?
You look like you've been shot.
I look like I've been shot.
Look at the engraving.
What?
On the P.
The airflow hole?
Yeah, it looks like a bullet hole.
I told him to put it there to hide it. You can't see it normally. You can only see it when there's a glaring bloody backlight right on it.
For fuck's sake, will everybody stop getting shot?
That's a fucking tune. It's also a good film. And on that, I am vaping the new TYV squared Capel. Have now tried all three. Definitely feel like this is my favorite one in the range. Fucking beautiful. Go to TYV and try it because it's fucking really nice. Really nice.
Rape is definitely my favorite.
Rape, yeah. Of the KKK series, Rape is one of the more popular ones, but I'm more of a Capel man myself.
I've tried the Kanga and the Crepe, and I like the Kanga.
They're all Rice Krispie squares with fruit. So there's a grape one, an apple one, and a mango one. And I feel like the apple is definitely my favorite. The
grape one reminds me of this like grape popcorn. It used to be.
It's like Pixie Sticks.
Like
it tastes exactly like Pixie Sticks.
I know what that is.
You know the little rainbow sherbet rods, and it's got the grape flavored rainbow sherbet inside it.
Don't comment.
I'm not familiar. Back in 2 seconds.
No pops. No, I did not say that.
I was going to bring. I've just realised I've left my Vulcan one in the other room. I was going to bring it in because I put a single coil build in it over the weekend, and it's bloody marvelous with a single coil in it.
Yeah, I've never tried one in single coil. I did toy with the idea of making an airflow, you know, like a little plug to go in the airflow when we designed it.
Don't bother. You don't notice any difference with a single coil in it.
Really?
Really?
How intriguing.
Yeah, like I say, if I gave you it, yeah, I'll try that juice that's on my Vulcan one, you would have no idea it got a single coil in it.
No, that's not true. Because I would never, ever, 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 ever take a hit from an RDA, especially one that you passed me, without checking if it's been dripped recently. I remember when you passed me that Mirage mech at Expo, and I took a big old vape off it, 0.2. The coil was dry as fuck, and I was like, can't really taste much. You took it back off me, took the lid off it, and like, oh yeah, it needs dripping.
Yeah. Was that when it got the 20 milligram Nick salts in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Nah, you can drip 20 milligrams salt. Piece of piss.
Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Mark, do you want to introduce the main topic?
Yeah, it was something that we touched on last week as the title of the show. The price is right. Something we want to talk about this week is pricing and what dictates a price. Why do we pay what we pay? Why do we pay what we pay for juice? Why do we pay what we pay for hardware? Why do we pay what we pay for batteries? Why do we pay what we pay for cotton? Why do we pay for whatever we pay for? And we have a guest joining us this evening. I suppose I'll just send in the link, really.
Probably should.
Yeah, it might help if we're going to get him on, you know. It's just kind of common courtesy, really.
It is. So I've sent the link over. We've got someone joining us this evening who Is a consumer, but he's also involved in the industry. When he joins us, hopefully you'll see the link. He can introduce himself. In fact, he's been on the show before, hasn't he? I'm pretty sure. Did he audition?
Who is it? Oh, it's that ginger twat, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, he has. He has been on the show before. In fact, I seem to remember he was really popular as well.
He was. They really liked him.
Yeah, there he is.
Hiya.
Yeah.
Alexa, lights on.
It's in the other room.
Uh,
No, because they're watching it on the TV, so not less of that.
Who's watching the what? What?
Josh is watching it on the telly, so.
Oh. So, yes. Hi, James. What are you vaping on?
I need to ask permission first. Can I say what I'm vaping on? Because you should know. I've made.
Yeah, of course you can, mate. Yeah.
Can I say? Well, Mod, I've got a B1 Roundhouse with Kennedy, and then I've got some special custard or creme brulee. Has it got a name yet?
I got some special custard.
Oh,
Well, Mark finally gave me some concentrate of his
his leftover packed lunch from school.
lovely custard, so I've been on that.
How is it fresh?
It's not as nice as when I had the last one.
Yeah.
I think it needs a bit of time, but it is nice. It's very dairy.
Daring. Oh, daring.
Dairy.
Yeah.
Is this the same custard that I've tried, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not got to try it.
It's pleasantly eggy.
Yeah.
Eggy.
Pleasantly
Okay.
eggy.
It's good shit.
To be fair, don't say eggy because it kind of puts people off.
No, that's why I said pleasantly eggy. Like custard, proper custard has eggs in it.
Yeah.
When you vape that, you feel like you know that it's got eggs in it. It doesn't taste eggy, as in like it doesn't taste like someone's done a dirty fart in your mouth. That would be really unpleasant. It's pleasantly eggy. It's
Like an eggy custard.
I contain eggs. Now enjoy me.
I've also been going back and forth between that and the King's custard.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been going back and forth. I've got into custards again.
Oh,
I was always on them, and I moved on to fruits, but I'm back on the custards.
I do love a good custard, mate.
Oh, and it's just a standard Kennedy drip tip channel. Just let you know. Standard one.
okay. That's fine.
I had a B1 that I stole off Dale.
There's a surprise. You stealing?
He punched me in the balls. I was like, I want compensation. And I tried to grab something out of a box he was looking at, and he was like, that's empty. Grab something else, and it was empty. And then I grabbed this purple, like, velvet bag, and he was like, that's a fucking roundhouse. You can have that. Taking that for compensation. I'm not even taking it out of the bag.
Good.
So it seems to have a few comments going already based on the topic. Looking at, bear with me a second, just flicking through. So, Vulcan Bros.
That's Tony. Just say Tony.
No, I like to say Bros.
Vulcan Bros.
Tony's just said it's a commodity market now. Too many companies selling the same thing, driving down the prices in an effort to compete. Simple business economics. The more there is of something, the less value it has. Pops has said, we pay the price that we feel that the product is worth.
No, I disagree with that one.
Yeah, ship product, low prices. JBC, too much crap on the market that is passed off for quality. People buy the shitty stuff, so the people who make quality have a hard time charging the prices they ought to. Tony, much like any other commodity market, there are now only a handful of big players who are beginning to take a foothold in the market. It's the Walmart mentality: stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap. And then there's a conversation of Walmart. Yeah, we have Walmart. It's Asda in the UK. So what are our thoughts? Obviously, the market has taken, I don't want to say a downfall. Certainly in the juice market, I've noticed post TPD, pre TPD, people wouldn't think twice of spending 35, 40 pounds on 120 ml juice. Fuck it, we had customers that had no issue paying 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 pounds on a 30 ml.
Yeah.
Now, from we've all been there. We've all paid premium prices, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Except for Chris.
Yeah, this was all free. So now, obviously, I work in retail and manufacture, so I kind of see it from both sides. But I'm going to focus just for this section of the debate, of the conversation. I've noticed the retail price of juice dramatically coming down. Is that something that's been noted up and down the country?
Definitely.
I mean, I would say I'm in probably one of the more economically, what's the right word? One of the more economically
challenged.
No, the opposite.
It comes from a rich town.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
live in a town where there's quite a lot of money, and I'd probably say the average price for a CD in our town now is about 18 quid.
That is on a short pill.
Higher than the national average.
Is that a short?
What size bottle was that? Sorry,
60 ml short pill.
Okay.
Yeah,
like you said, Mark. Pre-TPD, you were looking at 30 ml bottles would be going between 12 and 15 quid for a 30 ml bottle.
Probably on average, yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember before a long time now, our 100 mils used to be 33, I think it was. If I can remember correctly.
Oh yeah, it got cheaper, obviously, the more you got. So it was obviously, when 120 mil, there were a few places I went into that got 120 mils, and I got 120 ml bottle at 25 quid. I remember paying.
I remember back in the day, I used to buy 120 ml bottles that were $33 wholesale, like distro price.
Yeah.
They're expected to retail at 55 quid.
I could show you invoices that will make your toes curl from.
Can anyone remember Dr. Stanley Clark's snake oil?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really expensive. And
I thought you were going to say it was your dad.
Right.
No, I always used to buy that, and that was really expensive.
Just sorry, I want to direct this question to JBC. Just very quickly, Jennifer, the average. What's the average price for a 60 ml in the States at the moment? What are you looking at paying for a 60 ml premium? It'd be nice to be able to compare our prices with their retail prices.
Don't they get taxed on it though?
Well,
Regardless, it's still the cost of customer. So I've noticed a lot of people walking into our shop. Particularly now, we stock short fills from £13 all the way up to 25.
A little bit same size bottle.
The 60s, our most expensive 60 ml short fill is 22.
There you go.
Which is the coffee one.
You're looking between $24 and $30. $24
to $30 for a 60 ml. So they're probably paying more than we are at the moment then.
Yeah.
Well, what's 24? 24 USD to
what's $24 in pounds?
£16.97, so £18. Yep. But that'd be pre-mixed with Nick, presumably over there.
Yeah, correct.
To be honest, like I buy Nick salts from the States, and I was paying $20 a bottle for 30 ml. Then I just set up a wholesale account and paying $10 a bottle now. But I was paying $20 a bottle, plus shipping on top of that, plus the exuberant amount they charge as import tax. Yeah, so it was probably costing me about £23 a bottle for 30 mil. But then again, at 45 milligram Nixol, that can last me 2 weeks.
Okay, so do we assume then? Is it right to assume that a high price means quality?
No.
No, not especially not with juice.
I don't think it's right to assume any universal rules in a market that's growing so rapidly. I think the problem is that the rate of expansion of this market means that what we define as quality changes on a fucking weekly basis.
I think a lot of it's defined by greed. I mean, you know...
I thought you said breed. I was like, huh?
No, it's defined by greed. You know, a lot of people aren't happy with making... Fuck. A lot of people aren't happy with making a profit. They want to make a shit ton of money, you know? Back when Dale was making the TIV juice to start with, it cost him a hell of a lot of money because he was doing it in small batches. So it cost more. You know, now he's producing bigger amounts, it's costing less.
Not necessarily, though.
What you got to
costing less per bottle.
Less per bottle, but then you've got to remember, when he was only making them back then, there were just him and Lindsay. He's got a lot of people and a lot of outgoings now.
Yeah,
the
taxes every year.
I'm not disputing that, but what I'm saying is, on the cost versus profit of a bottle of juice,
yeah,
he can make one for a hell of a lot less than he could have back then. So even he, with the increase of overheads, has reduced the cost of his bottles. Okay,
so let's walk into a shop. Theoretically, you walk into a shop and there's 3 bottles of juice there. There's one that's 20 quid, one that's 15 quid, and one that's 5 quid. Which one are you going to buy and why?
Who's it made by?
Don't matter. You're going on price.
Do you get to try them?
No, they're just there on price.
I'll go for the 20.
How big are bottles?
60 ml.
I'll go for the most expensive.
Why?
Because that's what you expect. I know for a fact that the £5 one could be the better tasting one, but as life and everything tells you, the more expensive, the better. That's what people think. I'm the same. I could have got, like my watch, I could have got a shitty little Timex or whatever I've got an Apple Watch. I bought a more expensive watch because I think it's better.
No, Timex don't have the same function as an iWatch, but that's irrelevant. I get your point.
You know what I mean.
At the end of the day, you can tell the time and the date on it.
Yeah.
The difficulty with juice. I understand your analogy with the watch more with the mods, because you look at it, you can see the quality on it. Whereas with a bottle of juice, it's a bottle of juice.
Yeah. Can we stick with juice for now? We're going to move on to hardware in the moment.
Yeah. But,
juice. Stu, what would you buy? The 20, the 15, or the 5?
If I'm making decisions purely based on money, then I'm making decisions based on the amount of money I've got at the time. You know, if I'm flush, I'll always buy the most expensive thing I can afford, because much like James says, the logical conclusion is that if you spend more money on it, you'll probably get the better product. You've got a higher likelihood of getting the better product. The cheaper product could be better, but it's more of a gamble. But you know, if I'm buying purely on price and I'm skint, yeah, of course I'll buy a £5 bottle of juice, but I also will have no expectations of it.
I've bought premium juices that have sat on the shelf because I've spent some money on it, got it home, and it's been foul.
Yeah, I'm literally looking in my
what makes a juice premium? Is it the marketing budget? I know we spoke about this briefly last week. Is it the marketing budget? Is the amount, the hype? Is it the social media presence they've got? There's a lot of companies out there, and I'm not going to mention names, that have got multi-million-pound marketing budgets that can afford to throw a hell of a lot of money, you know, effectively a juice brand owned by a marketing company. And the only way, it's not incredible juice. it's mediocre at best. But they've got a hell of a lot of money to throw at it. A lot of people jump on the bandwagon, lots of marketing, lots of advertising, and they justify that cost by, we spent £1.5 million on advertising last year.
I think there's a few things that make something stand out as premium. First and foremost is the narrative that surrounds it. You know, if you are creating a product that is made with a lot of care and a lot of consideration and a lot of time and effort has gone into developing it, and you communicate to your customer that that is the kind of product that you've made, then I think you have a right to call it premium. You have a right.
Still doesn't make it a good product, though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily make it a good product, but that's like the Apple and Android thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're both premium products. They are the, you know, Windows Phone, for example, is not. You wouldn't consider Windows Phone premium because it is inarguably the worst operating system a phone can be on. But you can't choose between Android and Apple which one's better because they both just cater to different people's preferences. Yep. You can certainly say that they're both premium products.
Yep.
So there's people saying that they go on first taste. I'm just randomly looking for a bottle of juice.
I don't think flavour has anything to do with whether or not.
So these guys are saying that, you know, they taste it. Let's say you go onto a website, right? There is, this is just an example, 3 bottles of cloudy lemonade. Okay, there's a premium cloudy lemonade at £20 a bottle plus your next shop. There's a £15 bottle of cloudy lemonade, and there's a £5 bottle of cloudy lemonade. Online, would you always pick the most expensive, the mediocre, or the lowest price? And I'm not necessarily basing this on how flush you are at the time. What would you typically go?
The £20 one.
20.
The £20 one. Unless Nat was watching, then it'd probably be the 5. But
I mean, for me personally, I generally, if I'm buying a bottle of juice, I'll pay about 15 to 20 quid for a 60. That's sort of the price band that I tend to find I like fall into. So I'd go for either the 15 or the 20, because that's usually about what I would expect to spend on a 60 of juice, between 15 and 20.
And you're happy to pay that?
More than happy, yeah. At the end of the day, 20 when you're sub-ohming and you know, and a 60 lasts you say 3 days, what's that, £7 a day? It's still cheaper than a pack of fags, you know.
End of the day, something's only worth what someone will pay for it. If you've got a really good juice brand in your shop.
Oh, Chandler's gone 3PO again.
If you've got a really good juice brand in your shop and you put a high price tag on it and it's not selling, there's no point of having that high price brand.
Chandler, what were you going to say, mate?
Yeah, I was going to say I go for branding. Anyone let me know if these are pre-TPD bottles, and I've not seen either of these since TPD came out. That is the more expensive one that I paid for.
Yeah, and it looks like it.
And that's the cheaper one.
Evening, love.
So neither had I heard of before I went into the shop. They were just there.
Are they both the same profile or different flavour juice?
No, they're different. They are different flavoured ones.
Because you know what would really put me off that Grim Reaper?
Yeah.
Not being able to see my juice level in that bottle. That does my nutting. And
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't. That would put me off buying it, even if it was a better, higher product.
Yeah, I must admit it did bug me, and I did take it out and put it in a squeezy bottle because I don't like the drippers.
I've said this a million times, but there is no vape shop in the world that you'll ever buy juice from where the person behind the counter won't either know the flavour profile or have a flavour card out there for you to read the flavour profile off of. And there's no website in the world that doesn't list the flavour profile under the juice. So I don't understand why the flavour not being on the bottle is a problem for people.
That's a lie. There is a juice,
Because
Mr. Salt e-liquid, where they accidentally made it. It was released as oops, and it had no flavour profile description. And it was good.
There's one. There's one.
One.
Okay.
my reason for it is the amount of times I've been in a vape shop and there's only been one member of staff. Somebody else is there. I'm wandering around looking at the juices and haven't got a clue what the flavours are. I mean, yeah, it drives me. I'm picking up bottles going, well, what's that? Oh, I've got to look at this chart on the wall. That's like 2 miles away, and I'm granddad and can't see without my glasses. So why can't you just have the bloody flavour on the bottle? So when I pick the bottle up, I know it's a banana flavour or whatever. There you go. Rant over.
There are some juice brands that do it. Like, for instance, where is it?
I'm just grabbing.
Look at that in the middle of the show.
This one's butterfly flavour.
You
Oh
prick.
yeah.
You fucking prick.
This one is Western Bandit flavour.
No, that actually says one of the flavours on the if you read the writing.
It says Bavarian.
So you know there's Bavarian in it.
This one is cat flavour. This one is clown flavour.
You can get rid of that one.
This one is seawater.
I've got a panda flavoured one here.
Oh,
Yes, so have I.
Is it like
I've got
panda?
a panda flavoured one as well.
I've got one that tells me the time.
Well, at least it's right twice a day.
Yep.
Lindsay's hunted through juice bottles here.
I've even got an Irish leprechaun flavour. I can't
That's
do an
racist.
Irish accent. There you
Bit
go.
racist, but we will let it slide.
Well, leprechauns are Irish. It wouldn't be a Scottish leprechaun, would it?
Leprechauns don't exist, mate.
Okay. You think that scary clown was a real clown?
And
Possibly.
the hooch one is absolutely incredible. Beautiful. It's just-
God, someone's back in the 90s.
Oh, hooch! I didn't think they still existed. Is that or is that a bottle that you've just hoarded for like 20 years?
No, I bought it from the supermarkets at the weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Perhaps they've got a batch that they've just found in the back of the supermarket.
What you got lined up
20
next? Mag
years
Dog
back.
2020.
Yes.
Did anyone see the fucking cowpole flavoured juice?
Remedy.
Mm.
Does it
Oh, that's
taste
just
like alcohol?
wrong.
It tastes nothing like cowpole.
That's disappointing.
I don't give a fuck. It's got a cowpole spoon on it. That single-handedly builds a case for irresponsible marketing on its own. You don't even need any Pokemon or anything like that.
To be fair, it is completely dickish, but I'll be honest, I would try it if I knew it actually was going to taste like cowpole.
It doesn't. We've got it. It doesn't.
Definitely wouldn't try it.
Can we have that? What's that stuff that you give kids for colic? That
Bright water.
Right.
gripe water. I want a gripe water flavored juice.
Are you on drugs? Gripe water tastes like pickles, like McDonald's gherkin.
Is it the Infocol you're talking about? The orange one?
That's the clear one. It's the original gripe water.
Gripe water tastes like it does taste like a gherkin from McDonald's.
The original gripe water had alcohol in it, which was why it worked so effectively. Basically, you were giving them it was like giving them a spoonful of whiskey.
Right, so let's move on to hardware then. Actually, very quickly, each and every one of you, let's say I was to release an e-liquid, right? and it was £5 a bottle. Chris, would you buy it?
Absolutely.
He
Chandler,
wouldn't buy it, he'd ask you for a bottle.
Yeah, I'll probably tell you to say.
Chandler, would you buy it?
£5 for a 60ml. Damn right. Yeah, because I know you tried.
Yeah,
I've tried. If it's it's a brand I've tried before. I know they do good juices. Yeah.
I was going to say I'd buy it from you because I know that you don't make shit juice.
James?
If it was a flavour that I was interested in, yes.
I couldn't honestly say that I would just buy it if I randomly encountered it in a shop because I don't tend to trust juice that's that cheap, personally. Typically speaking, I'm very careful about parting with my money if something looks like it's going to be cheap shit.
We haven't mentioned the cheap Chinese juices because they're the ones that are foul.
They're the ones that the media's talking about on TV shows during the week.
Are they? Who was talking about Hanson juices during the week?
What's the bellend's name? What's the doctor?
Dr. Fox? No.
Doctor... I can't think of his fucking name.
Dr. Tran.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh,
I was talking about him earlier. Oh, Chris Steele. Chris Steele is the one that went live on TV, didn't he? And said about...
Wasn't he on with Ollie Willoughby?
Yeah.
What was this? What have I missed?
He basically said you need to be careful because the majority of e-liquid is made in China and you don't know what's in it.
Vaping.
But isn't it if it's for sale in the UK? Isn't it if it's got
It's been tox
nicotine in
tested.
it?
It's been
Tox tested.
Yeah.
So they've got to jump through the same hoops as anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, he was a big vaping advocate.
Yeah, I mean,
but it doesn't matter anyway. If you've made a liquid, then you've designed that recipe. If you've designed that recipe, you know what concentrates you've ordered. If you know what concentrates you've ordered, you've got 100% traceability on what ingredients are in it.
Your brother's just said, Stu, Tony's just said, over the long term, branding is going to make a difference. Yeah, branding is going to make a difference long term because then people are going to trust a brand.
Exactly. The point is the industry is too young at the moment for people to have developed real brand trust. It's starting to emerge now, which is why you've got things like, every time TYV do an expo, for example, James knows this, there will always be a crowd of people to see what's new from TYV. People are always interested in what the latest juice is from TYV because brand trust has started to grow now. It's started to become a thing, But we've not really been around long enough, and the concept of premium quality, even if you're not using the word premium in your marketing, but the concept of premium quality products that people can actually trust to remain consistent and stick around and not just disappear when the hype goes, that's only starting to become a more recent thing.
But then again, like you say, we are still quite a new industry in the UK. We're years behind America and all that. But yet the UK market seems to be killing itself from the inside.
Yeah.
Someone will come out, they'll get the same juice, they'll lower the price. That means someone else has got to lower the price to compete. Then someone else will come and lower that price.
I've got to say that our average price in store now for a 60ml is about 15 quid.
Which in the Midlands is probably what I'd expect it to be. And if you go up north, it's about a tenner.
It's not.
Maybe not where you are in Yorkshire, but from what I hear from a lot of my northern friends, the majority of shops in smaller towns, the most expensive stuff is 15 quid, and the majority of it's around a tenner.
See, our 60s are normally 15 with an shop.
So you're about the same as us then?
Yeah.
I don't know anywhere the premium juice is a tenner.
The shops I've been, I think. I
went to the shop in Chippenham last week, and there was an entire shelf. I'm not joking, an entire 1.5 meter shelf, all filled with £10 for 60ml liquid. and that's in the southwest.
Yeah, I've never heard of any shop doing that. It'd be interesting to see what brands are included in that.
But this is the thing, they're never brands that you've heard of. That's why they're £10 for 60 mil.
Yeah, well, the same way like Cash Generators sell zombie juice or something for like, back when TPD, pre-TPD, they were selling 30 mils for like £3.50. That was unheard of, but it was because it was mass-produced zombie juice or whatever it's called.
I think it also depends on the shop that you're going into. I've noticed that there's a lot of vape shops have opened up, and you do get different shop profiles. You've got your TYV, your Vape-esque type, which I class as your kind of high end. Staff know what they're talking about. They've got good quality stuff in there. But then you've also got your Poundland vape shops, which are almost a case of almost a market stall in a shop.
Yeah.
Which are selling their majority are their £2 Hankson bottles or what £2 China bottles.
Rob Hardman's just said in the chat, the shop near him, it's 20 to 25 for 100 mil and 15 to 18 for 60. Now, would you buy a 60 mil for 18 or would you buy 100 mil for 20?
Depends on what it was. You lot have all answered based on the price. I don't think I've ever gone into a vape shop and asked the price before I bought something. I mean, like hardware I have, obviously, but juices, I go in there, I'll try a few juices, I see a juice on the side, I'll say, I'll have a bottle of that. Then they say $18.99, and you're like, what the fuck? But you still pay it. The same way, you know, I think brand expectations are a very big thing. You see a brand name on a shelf and you expect it to be good because it's associated with a brand, or expensive because it's associated with a brand. I don't think, like, for instance, the Nick Salts by Element, I expected it to be all right because they've done so well and some of the juices were okay. I thought
I agree.
I thought it was fucking terrible. And and then I got the price when they asked me 17 quid or something for fucking... No, that's a lie. It was like 11 quid for 10 mil. And I'm like, the fuck? Do you know what I mean? But I paid it because I asked for it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't go in there because I didn't go in there to get it because of the price. I went in and got it because I wanted to try it.
The thing is, though, Chris, you know, for those of us in the very specific position that everyone in this chat is in, we've probably never been in a position where we were reliant on a bottle of juice to get us through to payday, or been in a position where we were reliant on a bottle of juice to actually pull its value for money. Because
I don't think any of us have been in a position where we've been reliant on an unknown, like untested juice that we've never tried before, that we've got to resort in buying.
No, but what I mean is, you know, when an average end user walks into a shop, they're probably buying juice for the week, for the month, or whatever, because they actually need that juice to stop them smoking.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, we're probably buying that juice because we fancy a different bottle of juice to the massive fucking drawful that we've got at home.
Oh, I
know that in 60s and 120s, I've probably got about 100 bottles in the house at the moment, and I've had a throw out recently where I threw out a carrier bag full.
I can't move my camera. Yeah, I can. There you go. Look, that's my
cabinet full. Exactly.
You know,
I've got a whole glass cabinet full, like a display cabinet.
Yeah, I think it's a case. You're right. The people are going. They're going in. They're going. I need to have.
Yeah, we're not necessarily
the best
litmus test, because we probably wouldn't buy that £5 bottle of juice because we buy the juice because we want it, not because we need it. Whereas Mr. needs to not smoke fags for 3 days will probably be very happy to see a £5 60 mil, even if it didn't taste great, because even shit tasting juice tastes better than a fucking cigarette.
Yeah, like all of these are unopened, all on the top shelf. Second shelf, a lot of them are unopened.
Hey, your camera looks like fucking Minecraft. We can't see.
Then again, that's why some homebrewers do well, because people, that's all they can afford. So that's what they know. And the thing is, and I bet you that the same people, every now and again, they'll get a bit of money, they'll treat themselves to a premium, and most of the time would probably say, well, there's not much difference.
Well, the thing is,
I think that's what I was doing as a vapor. Was I was mixing my own. The stuff that I made out of concentrates was my daily. That's what I do, and I very rarely went into a shop. But if I did, I'd go in and I'll have one of those, you know, a couple of bottles at 15 quid for 30 ml. That's fine as a a one-off. But for my daily vape, I was going for as cheap as I can make it myself.
Just for an example, in our shop, we can have. So I'm not going to ever mention brands, but we can have certain juice brands on our shelf. They don't move. As soon as you put them onto a box on the counter saying sale, gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's not.
And then folk are asking for it.
Yeah, and then people actually come back and ask for that again, but they didn't buy it when it was on the shelf.
But this is the thing. This potentially poses an interesting question. We've identified many times that there are two very separate sides to this industry. People like us that buy a bottle of juice because we fancy it have 150 quid mech mods, fucking 500 pound hemo setups, and all that shit. We're never buying any vape product because we need it. People that vape purely for smoking cessation are a completely different market to us. Whether they have ended up on an Alien and 3 milligram and they're trying to quit with that, or whether they're going the more recommended route of a low powered device with 12 or 18 milligram, irrespective of what products they're buying, they're still a different customer. And it sort of, to me, it reinforces that point that having a clear line of separation between the smoking cessation side of the industry and the enthusiast side of the industry actually kind of benefits everyone. If manufacturers were purpose building products for the smoking cessation market and purpose mixing juices for the smoking cessation market, and then on the other side doing those things for the enthusiast market and keeping a clear line of separation, the two sides wouldn't wander into each other's territory and bark at each other all the time.
Here's a fun fact for you. How many could you count your mods? Know exactly how many mods you've got?
No, somewhere around 20 or 30.
I have 0. I don't own a mod.
What?
I sold them all. See, no one ever believes me because I'm in the industry and I don't own a mod.
What's in your hand then?
This is nuts. I don't own a mod. I sold all mine. I was sick of buying them.
What?
I was sick of buying them.
I'm sick of buying them, but it doesn't mean I have to sell everything I own.
Are you fuck sick of buying them? I bet you if another billet box came up that you like the look of, you'd have it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but I'm kind of doing one in, one out. I got rid of my plug when I got my first half. I got rid of that half when I got my second half, and then I got rid of that. Now I've got my third half. So I'm kind of one in, one out, sticking to my guns, really.
And out of all the mods you use, how many do you actually use?
I've probably got in excess of 200 mods, maybe, and I use 2 of them.
That's my point. People in this, I've found in this industry as well, there's a lot of people who buy
not 200 actually, maybe about 100 and something.
There's a lot of people in this industry as well who will also buy something just because it's come out, not because they need it. It's just come out. Same as juice, same as mods, everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I am sick of buying stuff, and it's even worse when you're sitting here bored out of your head. Some days, like one day I was bored, and I decided to lave a perfectly good Sub-Zero shorty. Just lave patterns into it, no particular reason. Got a bit of a barcode going on, and yeah, I think I could have sold that for probably 50 quid. But at the same time, there's so fucking many of them, you'd never get around to listing them. And I mean, by the time you actually do get around to selling something, it's not worth a quarter of what you paid for it. There's no point.
On mech mods, that's the worst. Depreciation. I don't know why anybody bothers selling mechs anymore, because the depreciation makes it not worth selling them. I've got a Raven V2 that I've used literally about 4 times ever. I bought it from Evolution Vaping at an expo. It's worth probably
Yo.
I'm pretty sure that most people will know Stephen Harding as well because he's always running his mouth in the chats.
It's not bad, just a knobhead.
No, just from Stephen, we're interested just from your point of view, from a customer's point of view.
Can you put 50p in a meter, mate?
Stephen is also one of our customers as well.
Yeah, I spent a good part of the day with him. He was just sitting in TYV. I've dragged my son into TYV and sat there for the best part of the day.
Yeah, go on. What are you going to ask?
Go on, talk to us about your thoughts on pricing.
To be honest, I don't really look at pricing, if I'm quite honest with you. I go on what people are vaping, what people like. If it's 20 quid, I'll buy it. If it's a fiver, I'll buy it. I don't really look at the whole price situation, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a big thing at the moment on about Dead Man's Hand, a US juice. Well, that's like 35, 40 quid just to get a bottle into the UK. I've tried it. It's all right, but it don't really bother me, to be honest. If it's £2, I'll buy it. If it's nice, I go on word of mouth. I don't go on what's on the shelf.
Are you Stephen Greenwood's son?
A bit like that, yeah. Could say that. I've got more hair though.
Just thought I'd check.
So what you're saying there, Stephen, is, if you like the sound of it, you'll buy it. You don't care what the price is. If it's 5 quid, fair enough. If it's 30 quid, fair enough.
I look about on the Facebook groups, and if people are vaping it and they're not sponsored, then I'll buy it. Do you know what I mean?
What's your issue with sponsorship?
A bit biased, isn't it? It's biased.
I'm exactly the same. If something's sponsored, someone's going, "Hey, look at this juice. I'm sponsored by whatever juice company." You're like, well, the only reason you're hand checking it is because they're asking you to, not because you like it.
Because you like it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whereas if it's someone who's not sponsored, then they're hand checking it because they like it.
What if, let's say, me, Stu, Mark said to you, "You need to try this," but we work for a shop who sells that juice. We made that juice.
I'd try it. I would.
I'd try it. Yeah. I won't just buy it blind though. I'd go to somewhere where I could try it.
Well, this is what you do when you go into a shop.
Oh, hang on.
Isn't it? It's gone. Well, what would you recommend?
Guys, can I just pause, guys? Can we have just a one in a chat? If you can still see us, we've lost Stu, and I'm not sure if we're still live or not. Can you just give us a one if we're still here, please?
I thought he'd fallen asleep.
No, I thought he was crying.
I'm cleaning my glasses. I can't see shit.
Last time this happened, the whole show went dead.
It did.
We got a 1, so we're all good.
We're good for now. Please let us know if we disappear. We're trying to get Stu back in as quickly as we can. Cheers, guys. Sorry, carry on.
Have I kicked him out? Is there only 5 in our hangouts?
No, not at all. Stu's been having problems with his internet and he's dropped out. So
he's still on dial-up, mate.
Yeah.
But no, as I was saying then, I mean, it's what you do when you go into a vape shop, isn't it? You go to the person behind the counter and you go, "What do you recommend? What's a good juice?" Yeah, and then they sell it to you, but
really,
you trust their judgment.
I've got an answer for that. I've been asked that. I've worked in a shop for a long time, or I did. I have an answer for that. And if someone came up to me and said, "What do you recommend?" I said, "I don't know. What do you like?" And then I can recommend.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that is one of the things. People will come in. They'll say, "What's good? What shall I have? What's new?" Is always the best question. What you got that's new? What you got that's any good? For me, the question is, what's your profile? What do you like? Do you like fruity? Do you like desserty? Do you like custard? What do you like? And I'll recommend based on, for us, whilst we do have our own brands in, I do tend to push other brands over our own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, obviously, I make a better margin by
saying the same. If we don't do something, I wouldn't just say, "Oh, try this, it's ours." If someone, let's say at the time we never had at home dough and all that, we was mainly desserts. If someone came in and said, "I want a fruity one," I wouldn't just say, "Oh no, you don't. You want this."
Yeah.
And said, well, these are fruits. These are, and so on. You know what I mean?
But that's our ethos, James.
Preferences.
There's a lot of shops that aren't like that.
Yeah, buy this brand.
Oh, this.
What is that?
Calpol.
Oh no! Put it away.
It's a banging juice.
Does it actually taste like Calpol?
Yeah,
back.
Got his cock on.
Am I back?
Is
Yeah,
it
you're back.
He's back.
Fucking hell. I need to
Is
translate.
I might get some.
Chris, drop me a message later.
Honestly, I love the taste of Calpol.
Brilliant.
What was all the ones and twos in the chat? Or all the ones?
Just see if we're still live.
Still live.
Yeah, go on. Give us another one just to make sure we're
Cannot
still
see the
live.
guest or Stu. Okay, I'll try refreshing out.
Stephen Stewart voice only.
Dave, refresh your internet. Refresh your.
Any better? Any better, chat? Can you see me now? You don't want to see me anyway.
Well, there
I
is
would
that.
vote the best presenter.
Refresh your. Any better? Any better, chat? Can you see
You're
me
looking to see if you can see yourself.
So, yeah, why don't we think of that? Why don't we just go into YouTube ourselves and see it? Nope. No
A
one
lot
can
of
see
people
it.
saying no.
That's bizarre, because I can see Stu fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can see
my
I'm watching on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on. No, Stu's gone.
Oh, for God's sake.
Hang on.
Oh,
We're
no,
live.
okay,
Yeah, we're live.
We rely on Google Hangouts, and this is the service that we receive.
We rely on your internet.
My internet going down doesn't stop the show.
On my YouTube chat, neither of them are even in the Hangouts.
How strange.
Oh yeah, I'm not on, am I?
Oh, this is bizarre. This is very well. Welcome to Ghost Chat, to
Yeah.
Ghost Talk UK.
Just press refresh, Steve. It'll load it back up, and you might be in then.
All right.
God knows.
I've just tried quitting and refreshing again. I don't know what else to do if not that.
Sat here watching us about 15 seconds later. Whoa, full screen. Too much.
Yeah.
Is that some playing cards as your picture there, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, Craig, the internet in Bath is fucking appalling. It is absolutely fucking appalling.
For an affluent area, they cheap out on internet.
Yeah, no, mate, it's true as well. Everywhere I've ever lived in Bath has had poor internet, whether it's the city centre, the outskirts, high ground, low ground, doesn't seem to make a fucking difference.
Are you in a valley?
Well, Bath's built in a valley, yeah.
Bloody hell. You'd have thought that internet would flow down the sides of the mountains quicker, wouldn't you?
Still no Steve or Stu. Great.
I must be that much of a knob. YouTube don't want to pick me up.
I'm going to try completely closing the Hangout and opening it again through YouTube. So I'll be right back.
Will that terminate the show? And are we terminating the show and starting again?
No, because then we have to have a whole new link.
It says live at the top still.
It does still say live at the
We are
top.
still live.
Stu is likely to break it.
Are we going to get on with this?
Yeah.
Whether Stu's here or not.
So then, we let's talk hardware. So the price on hardware, you can go and you can buy. Let's stick with variable voltage for now. So a variable voltage box, you can go out and you can buy a 30 quid box, a 100 quid box, a 300 quid box. What justifies the difference in the price?
The make.
So the manufacturer.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
For me, quality of manufacturing and the materials that it's made of are going to be the main things that are going to persuade me to spend more money.
Yeah.
But then again,
For me, it's just if it's.
let's just say you've got a really nice £300 mod, but then the £100 mod does a lot more. Which would you buy? But this one looks nicer.
Yeah. This say you know the bright yellow snow wolf. Who the fuck would buy one of them with the little flashy door on the back?
Someone who likes yellow.
The thing is, that
Some people love them, don't they?
there definitely was a time where I would have bought the thing that had the most features, but nowadays mods don't cost me as much, or I don't pay for them in the same way as I used to.
They pay for them in hand jobs.
Yes, so I would probably be more inclined to go towards something that would normally be less attainable, because I'd want to know what that experience is like. You know, I've done the mass-produced Chinese variable wattage mods to death. I've spent years vaping those. I know what they're like. Even when a new one comes along, I've probably got a pretty good idea what they're like. But, you know, with the higher end stuff, I'm still learning about it. So that's more of a curiosity to me now.
You could resemble this to cars. Would you buy the lowest spec Mercedes or the highest spec Vauxhall or Kia, something like that?
But the thing is, the specification on a car is very different to the specification on a mod. You know, a mod could well be, all three of those could be a 200 watt box. Okay. You know, it's not like one's got sat nav, one's got reversing sensors, one's got a gear stick that you can sit up and down on. It's, you know what I mean? The features that are offered on a car are very different to the features.
I think if you can.
What's the difference between that and that? Both 3D printed mods. One's 40, 50 quid. One's 160 quid. What's the difference? Why is one worth more than the other?
Alumide costs more.
Okay. Does it cost £100 more?
No, but the internals of that cost more.
Okay.
What was the one on your left, Mark?
It don't matter. It was just a generic.
If it's a generic one like the Pulse, you go for the Pulse is a mass marketed, mass produced item, whereas the Half is handmade by a man in a shed. Does that, you know, you have to in order to get the Half, you can't produce enough to satisfy the demand. Therefore, there's more people want them than he can produce. Whereas if it's the Pulse, you know, there's
okay.
There's a crate.
Literally. Okay, let's do it with this then. I'm literally picking up just random mods.
Okay.
So sorry, Stu. Yours is one of the first mechs that came to hand.
That's all right.
The Vulcan Bros.
Go fuck yourself. You're such a cunt. You do it every time.
Well, the
What's he put it up with?
Okay, they're both a metal tube. They're both manufactured in China. They're both stainless steel. Okay, they both have magnets to springs. They both have an RDA. Talk to me. Trend. So which one's more trendy?
The SOI. No offense.
Well,
Is that because SOI have spent more on marketing, because they've spent more on advertising?
Yeah. The fact that this is like their 5th or 6th product, so they've got a bit of a following already. They've got.
But chances are that SOI costs less to manufacture than Stu's, but Stu's is probably half to quarter of the price.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't spend that much on a mech mod at all.
It's the same in reverse, really, for what you were saying about this Walmart effect. You know, people who make mods in limited numbers, they're new companies, whatever, they think about their customers. They care about their customers. People that have got a following already and they know that whatever shit they put out will sell. they don't necessarily care about whether each user gets a genuine, enjoyable experience. They care that they're bought. And with the nature of the market or the nature of the product, you can't just call up and say, I bought this mech and I don't like it. I want my money back. You've just got to sell it on. Do you know what I mean? So it's a gamble with every mod you buy, but some people give a shit and some people don't. I'm not saying that like the whole of SOI is like.
Again, I'm not picking on Vulcan Bros. Obviously I'm picking on Bros.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying that SOI have a bad customer service, but there's a lot more intimacy involved with a smaller company with someone who actually gives a shit.
So surely then, by that respect, Vulcan Brothers should be more expensive because they give a shit. They're a cottage industry. They're smaller. Okay, they may well come out of the same factory, but what warrants that £60-70 difference?
The following that it's accumulated.
The name. That's all it is. It's the
same
name.
as it's the same as buying expensive trainers versus shit ones. Do you know what I mean? Each brand has its own value. If tomorrow, I don't know, Clark's. No, that's a bad example. Who buys Clark's?
Parents do.
It's like buying a T-shirt.
It's like buying a parent. Sorry.
You can buy it. You can buy it. I think I'm making your point, and I hope I'm not stealing it. But you know, it's like buying a T-shirt from Primark, or buying a T-shirt that's got Ferrari logo on it. You know, the Ferrari logo T-shirt might be 50 quid, and the one from Primark's a fiver. And like you say, Mark, it might well have come from the same factory.
No, but the fact is the one with the branding on it has been licensed. So someone is paying somewhere there for the licensing of that logo, for the licensing of, you know, I could go to Disney and start manufacturing Disney T-shirts tomorrow. I've just paid Disney for that licensing. So I think that's a shit example.
But at the same time, say for instance, you associate brands with a certain price point. Now, for instance, taking on Chandler's analogy, as soon as he fucked mine up.
Sorry.
If Primark, if Ralph Lauren come out tomorrow with a polo shirt that costs £8, every man and his dog would buy one. If Primark come out with a shirt next week that costs £65, no one would buy it because you associate Primark with low prices. You associate Primark low quality or stuff that you wouldn't wear forever. It's not going to last you the rest of your life.
But potentially they came out of the same factory, so that's a...
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The
I
whole
get exactly what you're saying. It's just people's view on things.
I think a bit of vape snobbery comes into it as well, to be honest.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Absolutely.
Like
I mean, but also at the same time...
brands, stuff like that.
I mean, at the same time, like, I make RDAs. If I was trying to sell you an RDA and I was using a Smock Alien with a TFV4 on it, you wouldn't trust my opinion half as much as you would if I looked like I knew what I was talking about. You know what I mean? Which I'm not saying that a lot of people that do, not everyone that makes products knows what they're talking about, but when you've got like a nice box that you've built well, you know, you can show people and say, look, I built these coils well, and they'll know that you're not trying to bullshit them. You know, it's that's the point, I think.
You know me. I'm a cunt. I like to drag people's opinions out of them in a backwards kind of way, but you can kind of understand where I'm coming from based on tonight's topic and the title of the show.
Or put it this way: if I knew I was coming, let's say we just had a little meet between us. I know what you lot have.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Mainly higher end stuff.
Can we turn James up, please?
Yeah, so all of you lot mainly have higher end stuff. But then, let's say, I don't want to mention names, so let's say a coil art mech. I wouldn't do it because I'm the one there myself who looks cheap. So let's say that's also got an aspect of it. I wouldn't. It's like all my mates at school, they had really nice trainers. I wouldn't turn up with Gola.
Yeah.
So
It's
not,
would you I mean, there's that Wismec mod with the honeycomb around the outside. That's a reasonable price point. Would you
Yeah.
make the tube mech that they've come out with?
Probably not, because I haven't seen many people with them.
okay.
But I don't think it shouldn't be like that, should it? I don't think it should be like that.
It shouldn't be like that, but I feel that's how it is sometimes.
Talking of that, Steve, have you still got that yellow snowball with the flashing panel on the back?
Yeah, no, got rid of that. Get away.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Right. So let's. Sorry to keep picking on you, Stu. It's not intentional. Let's take Stu.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take Stu's mech. His mod.
I thought you were showing us how to grip Stu.
That is how I like to be held.
Definitely tickle the top. Anyway, let's throw £1 million marketing at Stu's brand. Right? Does it make that mod any better than it was before?
No, it just makes it more known.
More known, more appealing, means more people who have been sponsored, who have been told what to like, and the £1 million I've just put into the business to sponsor it, to pay for the marketing, is telling you that's fucking incredible. And all the sheep are jumping on board going, that's fucking incredible. So all of a sudden that's worth twice as much.
Yeah, but you can't say that, can you? You can't say that. Look at the most well-known Chinese brand, which is Smock.
Yep.
You know, there's not droves of people following it, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You're not getting it.
There's a lot of people with smart devices.
Yeah, I would also say that if you look at Smock as an example, they've started driving their prices up recently. Now that they're on top of the entry-level regulated market, used to be a case
they've got one of the highest value coil.
Used to be a case
but also
your Smock kit would set you back somewhere in the region of 65 quid all in for a full kit. And these days, you're looking at more like 75 quid all in for a full kit for the new stuff that's been coming out. Things like the Mag and the Majesty and all that, the price has gone up by about a tenner.
Yeah, but what's Mark saying is, let's say, just for example, your mech's 100 quid, and then you put £1 million marketing budget together. There's no way people are going to pay another £100 on top of that for the same mech, are they?
Well, it depends how you.
That's what I'm getting.
It depends how you look at it, because
in what order you implement those things. Because if you implement £1 million advertising budget before you release the product, you might very well ask for twice as much. But if you've already released the product, it's like what I was saying with the Primark thing. If you already release a product at say 120 quid or whatever, then people are going to expect your next product to be 120 quid. The same way, if Primark released a 65 quid t-shirt tomorrow, no one will buy it.
It's not though, is it? You're getting into the supply and demand, aren't you? If you throw them like your Wismec and your Smock, if you've got your marketing budget, bang bang bang, everyone knows about it, and they can supply everybody. They can keep their costs down and make a hell of a profit. If you throw your marketing budget, bang 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 bang, but you've only got a limited, you can only make so much. You've suddenly got a huge demand for it, and you can't meet that demand, ergo the prices go up.
Dino's just said, you don't need to spend £1 million on advertising. Grim give you a massive shout out. Just a few Kinder Buenos, job done.
Hey, those Kinder Buenos were Reese's idea and came out of Reese's own pocket. That was nothing to do with me. I did not bribe Grim Green with chocolate.
Reese,
but then on the other end of the scale, it doesn't take much to lower the price of something. It only takes someone to do something that people don't like, and they just get rid of them for next to nothing.
Scoundrels
then also ruins.
Scoundrels are prime examples.
Two prime examples.
Yeah, Rogue as well.
In this.
Yeah.
Rogue and Scoundrel. You wouldn't pay much for them now, for the pure fact that the brand has been ruined. people, the industry, we did that.
But that
The thing's
shows
going to be,
that shows forcing numbers though.
yeah. But then also the price of something can also show forcing numbers,
But I think this is what,
like the SOI. For
yeah,
example.
but I think this is what happens with the. I mean, a certain Italian mod brand, 3D printed mod brand. What kind of happened with that is they couldn't meet demand, and what was happening was the flippers were selling them and making huge profits on them, twice the retail price. Therefore, the manufacturer has gone, right, we're putting our prices up. So that's why the prices of that brand has gone up. It's because people, they couldn't meet demand, people wanted to buy it and were happy to pay extra. So the manufacturers put their prices up.
Are we referring to Franklin School by any chance?
I didn't just generic Italian 3D printed mods
that rhyme with wank and pole.
But
That's
it's
the
like,
one.
what's that really, really fucking expensive one now? Sounds like the guy off Pinocchio. What's it called?
Geppetto?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Geppetto mods cost a fortune.
They're expensive. They get flipped for a lot of money. I wouldn't pay that money for that.
But it is a case. I mean, Stu, if you were finding you were selling all your mods, and then realizing that everyone else was basically the people who were buying them were selling them for double, triple what they paid for them, what would you do? Have we still got Stu?
The thing is, it has two effects, Chandler. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my audio is working at least. It has two effects. You know, as a modder, if customers love your product so much that has happened, obviously there's an element where you have to feel a bit patted on the back, like, fuck me, I made something that people want so much that I can't make enough of it. Because a flipper market doesn't exist if there's enough supply to meet demand, you know?
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, you'd have to question, is that something that you should take responsibility for?
If I made a mod and people were flipping them, I'd lower my price.
Yeah, but would that work?
Just so then more people would come direct to the source and not get ripped off, rather than paying.
Yeah, but the people.
Yeah, but they're only being
the
flipped
people
because
that are
they're
coming
not
to
available.
you-
That's why.
The people that are buying it off you are the, you know, oh great, now I can buy it at 50 quid and make even more profit flipping it.
You see, for me, you know, if I released a mod and it was being flipped, that has got to be one of the. It's got to be an incredible feeling because you've manufactured something, you've created something, and it's being flipped for 4, 5, 10 times the retail. Surely that's got to be a right feeling.
I'd be a bit gutted.
The flip for me.
There has to be some kind of responsibility taken, though. You know,
Yeah.
As a manufacturer, you stick a flag in what part of the market you want to represent. And if you no longer stand for those customers, surely you have to take a step back and say, the people that we make our product for can no longer afford to own our product. We need to think about why this has happened and what we can do about it. You know, I mean, there's a really good analogy currently happening in the video gaming world. Graphics cards are currently selling for almost double their MSRP. And it's because graphics cards are what power cryptocurrency mining machines. Well, that's part of the story. There's other factors as well. But the big thing that's being blamed is cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all that stuff. And to make a mining machine, you need multiple graphics cards. So people that are mining cryptocurrency are buying up 8 or 10 cards at a time. And graphics cards, contrary to popular belief, aren't released in massive numbers. They're actually released in quite small numbers because they're very hard fucking things to make. And so what's happening is there's way more demand for graphics cards than the manufacturers can meet. But graphics cards are made for gamers. They're not made for crypto miners. Crypto miners just happen to be repurposing them for what they do. And so what's happened is you go to all these retail stores at the moment and a £300 card is £600. You know, a £700 card is fucking over £1,000 now. And so now the graphics card manufacturers are all coming together and saying, okay, we need to do something about this situation. We need to decide whether we're going to release products specifically for this industry as a separate thing to try and quell the demand, or whether we're going to place restrictions on how many an individual can buy. We need to work with retailers to make sure that they are going into the right hands. And that's, you know, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they're taking responsibility. So I think anyone should be able to make that connection as to why you have to take responsibility for the product you sell and who you sell it to.
Trouble is, they're going to have trouble doing that, aren't they? I mean, how can you stop? Because they produce, presumably, the cost of producing a graphics card has not changed.
They're not
so who is it that's making this extra profit selling it? It's the retailer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent for the graphics card manufacturer of somebody flipping it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a flippers market. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And this is exactly it. Is, you know, what these graphics card manufacturers are now doing is working with retailers and saying, you know, we need you guys to put limits on how many you sell to each individual, you know, 2 per customer or 1 per customer or something. And so now stores are starting to say, if you can, for example, one of the really clever things I saw was if you buy a graphics card with other components that suggest you're building a gaming computer, we'll sell it to you at MSRP. If you buy just graphics cards in any quantity, we will sell them to you at the inflated prices.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
If you had a way of vetting people efficiently, then it'd be a beneficial thing. But at the same time, sometimes it takes for a manufacturer to hike the price up so much that it costs people too much money for them to buy purely to sell and make a profit.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? So then it stops it being something that's flipped. It stops it being something that people are bothered about paying stupid amounts of money because.
But does that then put you at risk of pricing out your loyal customer base?
Yeah, but at the same time, if they had a way of vetting it, I think the other option you were talking about would have been the best way of doing it. But at the same time, you know, it very much depends. I think if it cost you 600 quid for a Frankie, like from retail, then people wouldn't be investing £600 in the hopes of making 50 extra quid. They wouldn't do it.
But then a year down the line, when it's all forgotten about, does everyone start calling Frankie out saying, oh, you're fucking ripping people off, £600 for a 3D printed mod, are you taking the piss?
I know. I'm not saying it was the best idea. I was just saying it would work.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those problems where the solution creates its own problems, and it's everyone kind of has their hands tied. I mean, I think vetting customers is a good idea. You know, if manufacturers started keeping databases of names of known flippers and working with communities to blacklist people, you know, you can have one, but you can have only one because
it's not hard to make. I'm not being funny. I could go onto your site. Let's say you did that. I could go onto your site now, buy one. I can go onto Nat's profile, buy one. I can go on Josh's profile, buy one. I can make a fake profile, buy one.
Yeah, but the point is, though, by adding to the amount of effort that people have to go to, you eliminate a proportion of the people causing the problem. It's not a perfect solution, but it reduces the proportion of people causing the issue.
The best solution would be is that every single mod on this planet is 100 quid. And if it costs you 90 quid to make, then it's your own fault. You need to go get it somewhere made somewhere cheaper. Every mod costs the same, and the profit you make is based on how little you spend on other crap. You know what I mean? So every mod's 100 quid, and only the best survive. That's what should happen.
It's like that's like going back to the car analogy. Every car should cost 10 grand, and if you can't make it for that price, don't bother.
Welcome to Christopia.
Oh yeah.
I think it would work if every single thing you owned cost.
What if they said that every RDA had to be 20 quid? What would you do?
No, I would say every RDA had to be 60 quid.
Who's judging these prices?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The customers, if you think it's worth that money, buy it. If you don't think it's worth it, don't buy it. I guarantee free.
So would you buy like a wasp that's like 20 quid? Would you buy that at 60 quid? Is that what you mean?
No, I wouldn't buy it. What I might do, it depends. If it was released at that price, I might not have the expectancy for it to be so cheap. Do you know what I mean? The fact of the matter is, everything would be purely based on how good it is rather than any other factors if it all costs the same amount. Say, for instance, every mod ever made cost 20 quid to make and sold for 50 quid. Everyone would make the same profit. Every variable would be the same. The only thing that would differentiate between the products is how good the device was. There'd be nothing else. You know what I mean? Being how good the product was includes how it looks, how it vapes, what it can do. Every single thing, every single variable would literally be down to how good and how functional that was and what you wanted to achieve with it.
But that's just not capitalism, Barker.
Yeah, but in a real world, that would be the best solution to any problem like that.
Well, the trouble is, in real world, it doesn't work like that, does it? I mean,
No, but do you know what I mean? If every single toilet roll in the world cost 3 quid for 12, you would only buy the one you enjoyed using the most.
You would just end up with a hell of a lot of shit toilet roll because they just try and make it as cheap as possible to maximize profit. You wouldn't get someone going, right, we will make this using,
and then you'd be stuck at that high price and getting a piece of shit for that price.
Yeah, you wouldn't get anyone going, well, I'm going to spend 59 quid using the best machining on this RDA, and then they'll only make £1 profit.
Well, this is the issue, isn't it? Is that price fixing eliminates product variance. And product variance is actually a good thing, not a bad thing. You know, if all prices were fixed at the top end of the scale, you'd have no top end. If all prices were fixed at the top end of the scale, you'd have no entry level. And
I reckon you could probably get away with it more with juice than you could mods doing that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more commonality in juice, though, isn't there?
That's why it would work easier in juice than mods. But then again, why would someone make, if the same price was a 120ml bottle, and vice versa? You know what I mean? So
yeah, but again, everyone else has got varying points. And if you buy enough concentrate to make 300,000 bottles, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot less than if you buy enough concentrate to make 200 bottles.
Robbo was just saying about the status thing as well. It's actually kind of funny, you know, because like for example, this is a really good example. I got this at an absolute fucking bargain. They were about 320 euros, and those were £100. So that's about, near as makes no difference, 400 quid's worth of setup. I paid 150 for it. And all I do is brag about how cheaply I got it. So owning the £400 device isn't necessarily the same thing for everyone. You know, for me...
How old are they? Are they new?
Well, Pylons have been around for years now. They're SX350J.
There you go, then. It's just the same as anything else that's been out a long time. Price just goes down, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've got boxes here that cost fucking hundreds. And they're worth absolutely fuck all. Like this thing, I think, was about 260 quid when it came out. I couldn't get a fiver for that.
Like not long back, I bought a brass ruby, a stainless roundhouse, and a stainless Kennedy for 120 quid.
Wow.
Kennedys on their own are 80 quid.
Mm-hmm.
80, 90, wherever you go, prices vary, but
85
other items, because new stuff comes out and the older stuff gets forgotten, so everything just gets cheaper and cheaper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think this is what some people do expect, to be able to go into a forum and go, I'm selling my whatever it is, it cost me X, and then they knock a tenner off it and go that, and that's what they're expecting to get back for it.
I mean,
you see, that's why UK squonkers are really good as well, because I think most sales posts I've seen on there, you actually have to put the RRP.
Yeah.
People put the RRPs on them,
Yeah.
and then they put a price that reflects on that.
I mean, I will say though, in the higher end market, you do find that things depreciate a bit less. Typically, I mean, 150 for that setup as an example, that is dirt cheap, and most people would probably have happily paid 250, maybe even 300 for that setup, no problem.
I think the thing is that happens in the high end market. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but stuff that's in real demand, like a Frankie, if you offered that at RRP, you could actually also fetch RRP for anything that you include in a bundle with that Frankie. So if you've got an attic that cost 150 quid new, and you could probably sell it for 60, if it was bundled with a Frankie, you could ask for the RRP of the attic and of the Frankie, and people would pay it.
Just to get the Frankie, basically, yeah.
That's all it is.
A lot of the stuff that people bundle with their expensive devices either don't go with it or aren't really in demand anymore. But people will pay it just for the device itself. Like, for instance, I had a half up for sale. Now I know 3 or 4 people that I could have sold that for double what I paid for it. I've had people in other countries ask me for it. I've had people message me from offering me more than I even put on the advert, hoping that it would mean that I wouldn't sell it to the person I sold it to. But I had.
See, I sold a half, and I didn't even really know what it was, and I think I sold that for a really good price.
You did. You did flip it. You sold it for more than retail, James, but I was happy to have it.
Did I? I didn't have a clue what they was worth. I had a seller price.
Yeah, like that half, I could have definitely made a decent profit on it, but it's out of respect for the rules in a lot of the groups I'm in. Do you know what I mean? What it took was for someone to see me or someone to suspect me of selling it elsewhere for more than it's worth, and I would have got nailed for it. Do you know what I mean? And the whole point, the fact of the matter is, out of respect for the rules of the groups I choose to be in, I sold it for less than retail price.
The thing is, in the higher end game, cash has no value. Cash has no value whatsoever.
No. I think the higher end game that we're talking about are the mods that are limited stock, where they can't meet the demand for it. I mean, if I tried to sell, I tell you what, I'm selling my RX-23 for 50 quid. Would you like it?
No.
I'm never going to
deal. What's your PayPal
for 50 quid?
Yeah, I got.
Do you know what I mean?
I got about 15 PMs yesterday after I posted that up, and literally in the time it took me to go to the shops and come back, someone messaged me saying that didn't last long. I said, "What do you mean?" And like, have you seen the post? There's about 12 comments on it, and I had about 27 PMs. No, maybe not 27. But it was a fucking lot, maybe about 20. But like, I know, for instance, a lot more people are interested in this one than they were in the red one. Well, I know if I put this up for sale, there'd be a whole queue of people willing to snap my hand off for it. But at the same time, I wouldn't sell it for more than retail or more than I paid for it, because it's just respect.
Respect for who?
Respect for the rules of the group in which I choose to be in. Do you know what I mean? I choose.
Let's put it this way: do you really think if some random person would think about that respect to you?
But no, it's different though, because
I
choose to hang around in groups and participate in groups that have that ethos of not selling it for more than RRP. But because I'm posting in those groups and I'm a part of the community in those groups, I would respect those rules. I don't have to be there. I know plenty of people that have been kicked out of SV for doing all sorts of stuff, but I'm in SV and I wouldn't break the rules out of respect for them. You know,
it's kind of like the like my motorbikes. It's kind of like, when Ducati bring out a limited edition Desmodici or whatever it is, people buy it, stick it in a garage, and sit on it and wait for it to, wait a few years.
That is not what you normally do with motorbikes.
Yeah, and then
sit on them.
Well, this, yeah, you know what I mean. But you know, don't run it. It just sits in a garage, covered in a tarpaulin, waiting to sell it at more than what they paid for it. They bought it as an investment, and there are people who are buying mods as an investment. I am buying this. I am going to wait a bit and then sell it for more than I paid for it.
Have you been in the Hexome group recently?
Sorry?
Have you been in the Hexome group recently?
I haven't actually. No.
Well, obviously they sell the LEs. All their LEs are $250 fixed for whatever they release. People are waiting. Well, obviously flippers are buying them, waiting a couple of weeks till they're sold out, flipping them for $400-500.
Yeah, yeah.
And the admins don't care. It's like, what? I just don't get it.
Do people still pay that for a Hexome?
Oh, they're letting it happen.
The Stabwood ones are really expensive, aren't
they? I mean, with the motorbikes, it seems to be just as much of a waste. I mean, these are stunning machines that are bought as an investment, as currency. It's like, no, they're supposed to be ridden and enjoyed and used, not bought by someone to line their pockets with.
My favourite car was a Ferrari F40. That's my dream car.
Yeah.
Back then, it was a bit more realistic than if I wanted to get one now. You won't find one for less than $1 million now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I used to have an old RD 200. I sold it for 400 quid. If I'd have got it, even in the state it was in, I could sell it for 5 times that now. Do you know what I mean? But it's a tricky one, isn't it? Not all equipment.
If you'd have known back then that's what you would have got for it, would you have kept it or restored?
No, because I couldn't afford to. No, I couldn't afford to keep it at the time. If I wanted another bike, I had to sell it to fund the next one.
Isn't that the same reasons why some people don't take toys out of the boxes?
Yeah.
Yes, I've got a fair of toys, and I don't take them out of the boxes, but I also store them in a shed.
See, I was a kid. I took them out of the boxes and I played with them. I didn't care less.
See, I'm an adult, so I don't really need them to play with. But they're not bought. They're not bought to make money on. They're bought because I think they're cool.
So why don't you take them out of the boxes then? If they're not,
because I'm not a kid anymore. I don't play with toys. I just like looking at them.
To be fair, I've got that mentality. I have kept all the boxes for all of my mods are in a pile here. I've got all my mods, my atties. I've got them all stashed in a cupboard.
If I
all the boxes.
If I had them, then I'd get more money for it when I sell them. Why are you keeping them?
I haven't got a clue.
Chandler, I've been vaping, 4 or 5 years. I have got is that box still down there? I have got a box that has got every box for every product I've ever bought.
Really?
Somewhere I've got a box full of blue screwdrivers.
I've got a box. I've had a box for every product I bought. I used to store them on top of my cupboards. And when I moved out, I thought, what the fuck am I keeping this shit for? Put it all away. I forgot, actually, that a lot of them have spare drip tips and all sorts in. But, I'm not planning on selling any of this stuff. So what's the point in keeping it? Like, I've kept the box for my iMac and my MacBook Pro and my iWatch and anything that might retain its value or that I'd upgrade and then sell on. But if I could only get 200 quid for a 4K MacBook, then I wouldn't bother selling it. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're about on edge of doing this to death now. I don't think we've got a definitive answer. I think we're pretty much where we started. I think it's made a good discussion. We've had lots of input tonight. A couple of the viewers have joined us to give their opinion.
I'll go over my nicest juices.
Be interesting to know. Are we enjoying having guests on, or do you prefer it when it's just the 4 of us chatting shit? let us know. Is anyone hanging around tonight?
Can do for a bit.
I might do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm only going to be around for a couple of minutes tonight. I don't think I'm going to be sticking around tonight.
No worries. Well, I will. Guests are good. Good. We're liking the guests. We're enjoying the guests, aren't we, guys?
Yeah.
Looks like the boner wall's getting missed.
Thank you to James and Stephen Greenwood's son for popping in.
Yeah.
All right.
Even though they can't see me, but hello.
I can.
Excellent. Guys, any of you that are commenting saying that the guests are good, any of you that want to join us, every week I will pop up a post before the show asking if anyone's available to join us. The rule is you don't know what we're going to talk about before you join us. We just want honest, brutal opinion. Stu, someone chewing on his ear. I saw it. Really? I don't see him at all. He disappeared about 4 hours ago.
Reese is on the other side of the room.
Cracking. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. It's been an enjoyable week for me. I don't know about everyone else, but hopefully I'll be in a better mood next week. And we'll see you next week, guys. I'll pop the Bitly chat. I'll pop the Bitly chat in the chat. Feel free to join us for a while. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, everybody.
They've literally said that you guys are now